Good afternoon, good morning, good evening to wherever you may be. Welcome back to the cutest podcast in all of Wraith. Welcome back to the Pitch Perfect podcast with me, Kiki, and Elaine.
Hi.
Wow,
Hello.
it feels like it's been a while since we've done this. Yeah.
I think it has been a while since we've done this.
I think the last time,
I think
outside
it
of the League That Means Nothing commentary, was our game that we played that the recording went haywire, so who knows what's happening with that. But nonetheless, last time we had a chat was quite a while ago, so here we are. How have you been?
I've been okay. Yeah, I got sick for like 2 weeks, so like that wasn't very fun. I know you've been sick too. But then at the same time, like I'm feeling better now, so that's been fun. I was able to go visit my siblings, so that was really enjoyable. So I've been okay, highs and lows.
Yeah, what is good?
How about yourself?
Yeah, I've been quite tired, unsurprisingly. I mean, like, that's not new for anyone who knows me. It's been a pretty hectic last couple of weeks, I guess. Like you mentioned, I was also sick, so I took like half a working week off. That was leading into New Zealand Nationals, so that was quite a busy time, both for the event and also for the hectic after parties that happened afterwards, of course. Yeah, and then of course we've got our league that's just kind of started up, so it's been kind of hectic getting all that sorted last minute. Still more things to organize with that. Yeah, that's kind of been the last couple of weeks for me. It's just been sitting at this computer doing a bunch of stuff, or being behind me, passed out. Of course, also my day job. So, I'm glad to mostly be over this, whatever it was, cold flu or something, I don't know, and to be here. Very exciting stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, we both were like sick at the same time. It was like difficult because we were both sick. The Rainbow Pitch League has officially kicked off as the time we're recording this and the time you're hearing this. But like, yeah, the week before kickoff, we were both sick. I was sick the week prior to that, and then with like a cold. And then I was sick with a stomach virus, which was horrific. And you were sick, and then we both like got healed, got better, and went out of town. And then it was like the league's supposed to kick off while we're both out of town, and we've both been sick. So that was kind of like hectic, and it was definitely, I think, a balance of both of us being like, you rest, no, you rest, no, you rest. Like, no, I'll do it, you rest.
Well, the conversations were definitely just like that. It's like, yeah, no, you do it, it's fine, I got it. And then as soon as the conversation's done, it's like, I don't got it.
I don't got it. I'm about to like pass out. I am about to like, yeah.
We're here now. We got through it.
We got through it. We did it. That's okay. It's okay. It all worked out in the end.
And yeah. So, I guess our weeks in Flesh and Blood. Have you done anything since US Nets? I guess would have been like the last time we've chatted about this.
Since US Nets, yeah, I have been trying to learn some gravy, playing some gravy. I haven't made it out to any armories because I was sick during the week, both the weeks, and then out of town on the weekends. So I've just been playing online with friends, and I've been trying to learn some gravy. I'm going to Singapore. In 9 days I leave for Singapore. Oh my god. And I wanted to make like 2 cosplays for Singapore, and now I don't even know if I'm gonna get one done because being sick for 2 weeks really put a damper on my inability to make cosplays. I'm hoping to go to the fabric store today, although it is a holiday today in the States, so I don't know if it's going to be open.
I immediately asked what holiday it was, and then I looked at the calendar on my end, and it makes sense now.
It is Independence Day, yeah. Super cool. Anyway, Yeah, so I'm hoping the fabric store is gonna be open and I could jump over there after therapy, but we'll
Mhm.
see. Hopefully, there's at least one that's open, and I can get some fabric to at least make one cosplay. And I might just try and do some improvements
Mhm.
to Shiana, but even then, I like don't know if I have time for that because I've been working. Um, I was sick, so I missed quite a bit of work, and then I'm taken off quite a bit for Singapore. So I've just been working like the days that like last week and this week. I've been working like 8 to
Oh god.
6. Yeah, so there's not much time for cosplay again. Usually when I get home, I'm tired and I go to sleep. Actually, that's not even true. I record with you. I let's see. This past week, what did I do? I got home. I played D&D for
Mhm.
3 hours, and then I went to sleep. And then one night, I was so tired. I was like, oh. And then my friend got a job and wanted to celebrate, so I did that. Then went to sleep. Then we recorded for the league that means nothing. And then in between all that, I was like, I want to watch an episode of TV by myself, turn my phone off, and go to sleep. So that
Mhm.
is what I did. I've just been
Yeah.
busy. And I don't know if I'll have a cosplay in Singapore. Y'all don't hate me, please.
I
I'm
don't think
doing my
anyone could.
best.
And if you don't get the cosplay done, that'll be fine. You know.
Yeah. That was a bit of a rant, though. How was your week of Flesh and Blood? Or two
I guess I've
weeks?
actually played Flesh and Blood in the last 2 weeks, which is more than I can say about like most of the rest of the year. Um, so we've been doing some draft practice at my store leading up to New Zealand Nationals, which was last weekend. Um, and I started feeling really confident in the draft format. I really like Puffin. Like, I've really been enjoying Puffin, and I did really well in draft practice as Puffin. So I got the fancy Conqueror of the High Seas thing, which is really cool. I showed you pictures. Like, I'm very stoked about that.
Ooh.
If somebody wants to send me a Marvel Poly Cranker, that would be great. I really want one of those.
Oh, if I had Marvel, we could do a trade
It would
off,
have been
but
so easy. Um,
I know.
I do have the Marvel Puffin, so that's a start. And that's part of the reason why I'm kind of now going into I'm going to make Puffin happen, like, in person. But I'm skipping ahead. So I had, like, the draft practice thing, and then we had New Zealand Nationals, which was a great time. It was... I know you said I was out of town. I was actually in my hometown for once. That was held in my city. But I was just very preoccupied, you
Yeah,
know?
but
Like, very, very
yeah,
preoccupied.
it's as if you're
Yeah,
out
for
of
sure.
town, right?
And there was a whole bunch of people that were from out of town that were coming, so like it was kind of like, I guess, not strictly mine, but like, you know, part of my responsibility to be like the host in terms of like socializing, so on and so forth. So there's like people that wanted to play Flesh and Blood like across the whole weekend, of course, and like, you know, you do that, you do you. I am not a person that can do that to that extent. I like to socialize. So on the Friday prior to the event, we had a few people from the Rainbow Pitch League and the Rainbow Foils come to my city, so, you know, we took them out to dinner, which was pretty nice. I don't think we got a photograph now that I think about it, but, you know, we hung out together. And then on the Saturday, we had the first day of Nationals. I went 2-1 on a technicality in the constructed portion of that. My first round opponent did not show up, but a win's a win, we take that. And then I played against something. I beat something as Prism. I can't remember what it was. It was Syndra. I beat Syndra as Prism. Basically, I won the coin flip, chose to go second, and forced him to block more than I did. As that matchup kind of goes, the person that blocks tends to lose that. So that was kind of, you know, just how it goes. I was still kind of waking up, and then I get paired in round 3 against Dennis, who is on Victor, which is an awful time for me in terms of, like, the matchup. The game itself was fine. We had great banter. It was all good. But there was, like, no way I was winning that. So I was going to draft as 2-1, and I'm like, I'm fairly confident I can 2-1 both drafts and get myself into day 2 in a position to, like, top 8. So this first draft comes along, I'm on Puffin, everything's going great, and then it comes to pack 3 and everything's not going great, the person to my right pivoted into Puffin, the person to his right was also on Puffins. We had 3 Puffins in a row. But I managed to 2-1 that pod anyway. It was all good. My deck was fine. We all had very different Puffin strategies, which is kind of nice.
My cat, sorry, keeps trying to show hole on camera.
We charge for that.
Yeah.
And then the third draft was rough. Turns out, that pod featured internationally known players like Kale and Matt. Somehow we were all in the 4th pod, and it's not the first time I've drafted in the same pod as them. I know, they're pretty good players, pretty well known. So I ended up going 1 win, 1 loss, 1 draw in that pod, which meant that at the end of day 1, I was like X4 or 5-3-1, whatever you want to call it. So I technically had a chance of making cash. I did not have a chance to top 8 at that point based on the numbers. I think there was 131 people, which means that it was 7 more people than the Rainbow Pitch League Season 3. Just a quick plug. So I was thinking about playing day 2 to make cash, but there was the first after party that was happening on Saturday night. Not trying to get too drunk, of course, because it's an event to play. But my friend Diggle, who he might have come up in this podcast before, he's the person that I do the Calling Taihape with, which is our unofficial party and / event in small town New Zealand. He was like, the stream for New Zealand's been cancelled, which is something that we found out very last minute. He's like, but I have all my streaming gear here. I wonder if I can convince the TOs to let us stream. And I was like, hey, if that happens, I'll drop out of the event, I'll drop out of Nationals, I'll do commentary with you, it'll be fine. And that's what we did. So technically I went undefeated on day 2 on the basis that I played 0 games. But I did end up doing live commentary on a very thrown together tournament feed that we kind of ran. We didn't have time to make any new assets. So the loading screen, the waiting screen and stuff had sheep roaming in the background. It was all very adorable. Very New Zealand themed, but definitely not the most prestigious, this is an LSS event kind of stream, but it's kind of the vibe for New Zealand as is anyway. Yeah, so New Zealand Nationals was a lot of fun. Incidentally, I ended up doing karaoke both nights, Saturday and Sunday. The Sunday was the one we actually planned. The Saturday one was spontaneous. We kind of viewed it as a little warming up kind of party. Yeah, and then after karaoke on Sunday, we went to another bar where they're doing open mic karaoke. And I kind of just signed up for a song for fun. I don't normally sing in front of strangers, but I was like, yeah, let's just do it. And then the 4 people that went before me were all intimidatingly very, very good. 3 of them were Filipino. I'm like, well, how am I supposed to keep up with this? But apparently I did, and they all introduced themselves to me and welcomed me and stuff. So I was accepted by my community, my Filipino community.
Good, I'm glad.
Which does mean though, if you want to do karaoke, anyone listening, come to Auckland. Yeah, that was my last couple of weeks in Flesh and Blood though. In the middle of that, of course, I got sick. And now, apparently, nobody in my city is open to Puffin. No, that's a lie, a poly. I just need a poly Cranka for my deck. And also, maybe 6 more copper cogs. But that's where I'm at.
I have some copper cogs.
Thank you.
I'll give them to you in Singapore. Or, just for clarification, Kiki is not going to Singapore. I will mule them to you in Singapore.
I enjoy singing and I'm poor, but I'm not going to Singapore.
Sounds like... That sounds like fun, though. I still haven't been able to draft this set because there's just, no product to draft with. And I don't like doing online draft.
I think you got muted by your cat.
Yeah, am I back? Okay.
Yeah, you're back.
He's just being a handful this morning. And I fed him right before we started so that... Ow! Stop biting me! What is your issue today? I fed him right before we started in hopes that that would make him not like this. But he's being... yeah. Yeah.
more like this.
For whatever reason. Maybe I'll give him another serving of food real quick. Yeah, I still haven't been able to draft this set because there's just like no product, and we haven't had draft armories, which is pretty disappointing because usually after a set comes out, it's like, oh, all the armories are just like draft. And we haven't been able to do that, so I have not drafted.
I mean, hopefully now there should have been a restock, I think. At least I assume so. My store got a restock somehow. We've got like a whole bunch of boxes. And we had some boxes specifically for draft as well prior to that. But now I've just got boxes for general sale again. So hopefully your store should have some when you get back to it, when you're not feeling them well.
Still no high seas yet, according to the Discord as of today. So hopefully, yeah, maybe there'll be product when I get back from Singapore, or I mean, I am hoping, yeah, I am hopeful to draft in Singapore, which would be cool. I've like watched some. Obviously, I've watched drafts on the national streams, and I've like watched like backseated my friends drafting, which is always fun. I do like to backseat draft. I enjoy that, but I just don't like drafting online. I don't like playing online, so I haven't done it.
Yeah, no, totally valid. It's a different game. It's a different experience playing it online. Like, just Flesh and Blood in general. And it's great that it's available for some people. It's just
and don't get me wrong, I do like play online, even like I said, the past few weeks I've been playing with friends online. So I definitely like do utilize that. I really, in a draft state, I don't know, something like draft, like it took me a while to come around to just like playing a CC game online. I just have not come around to doing a draft online. I've done one once and I did not like it. I did not like the experience at all, and I love drafting. But I didn't like the experience of doing it online. Well, and I do play online, I just don't play like open game rooms against random people. Like if I'm going to play online, I need to be on voice chat with the person I'm playing. Otherwise I'm like, I can't, I hate this.
Yeah, the communication is just much easier when you can actually talk to the person.
Yeah, definitely.
And also when you know they'll let you take something back.
Yeah, and I don't know, when I play online, it's like, this is just supposed to be a learning experience for me. So when I'm with my friends, like playing, I can just be like, hey, like, this is my hand. This is the line I was thinking. Like, am I seeing something you're not? Like, I love being able to do that with friends and being able to use the online tools in that way. But apart from that, no, I'd rather not play Flesh and Blood than log in and play a random game with someone I'm not speaking to. Like, I just can't stand it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, speaking of draft, there's a new set coming out. There is a segue. It is called Super Slam. It is themed in the Deathmatch Arena, which does mean that we've had 2 Deathmatch Arena sets before we get this Savage Land set. Putting that out there. But the reason I bring that up is that the draft format has no weapons.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, I actually am really curious to see how that goes. They also didn't like make that apparent in the trailer, but I was actually one of those people who, like, I read the description and that's how I found it out. I didn't like see it in a Discord message. So I read the description. I was like, no weapons. Like, is this a typo or what's going on?
Yeah, no, for sure. It made me, at first I wasn't sure, because like I hadn't read the article. I just heard people say no weapons. I'm like, but Pleiades clearly has a guitar-shaped axe, like very clearly. And KO is still holding the mandible claw. Like, they are holding weapons. Lyeth has, like, some sort of whatever it was, and
It's one
you
of
know,
those.
if Tough Nut doesn't have a weapon, that kind of makes sense. But yeah, no, exciting draft format, potentially. It means that we're not going to get these sort of games coming down to like a weapon fatigue where one class is better than the other in draft because they have a weapon. You know, you're not going to have that. It does mean potentially that we it does mean that potentially we will end up with more ties. You know, once players run out of weapons. I don't know what they're gonna do about that. If there even is something to do about that, you know, it's fine. A draw is a legal result you can get in Flesh and Blood. So yeah, very interesting kind of stuff. Super interested to see how the format goes. The cheering and booing stuff kind of excites me as a wrestling fan. Like, mechanically, I guess we have like the heroes and villains very clearly played out. It's very cheesy, right? But also it's been kind of a divisive set, I guess, in terms of some people are finding the set too cheesy, too camp, especially off the heels of like High Seas being also very over the top and camp and kind of, you know, not quite the same level of like fantasy serious that like the Hunted gave us, or Rosetta before that even. Yeah, this definitely feels like a not for everyone kind of set.
I don't know that this set is for me. You know, I feel like I say this every time a set is revealed, honestly. Like, and reflecting on myself, maybe I'll talk about this in therapy today. I'm joking. So I'm like, what is it with me that I'm always like, this set's not for me? And then I end up loving this set. Like, I swear I did this with High Seas. I didn't do this with the Hunted because there was a warrior in it, but I kind of did this for Misfiel and Rosetta as well, and ended up loving all of those sets. They were all actually, I probably liked the Hunted the least out of the four that I just named, and the Hunted was the only one that I was like, this set's for me. So I don't know, maybe I just put myself in a box for some reason, but who knows. This set though, I don't know if it's for me, but honestly, when a set comes out and I'm like, this set's not for me, I'm not really bothered by that. I don't think every set needs to be for me, and I don't know. It's pretty cheesy. I'm not sure these, in my personal opinion, which I wouldn't take too seriously because I never claimed to know anything or be good at this game. This set doesn't seem, I don't know, it's definitely not, it doesn't seem like it's power crept at all. Like, I'm not sure how good these heroes look like they'll be in the CC meta. Which I also think that, and I believe when we had Brian Gottlieb on this podcast a long time ago, when it was Melody and myself, like, he talked about how like not every set needs to be like good in the meta, and like, and not every card needs to be like playable. Like, sometimes like those cards still have a place. This set seems, I don't know, it just like, first impressions is that it does like gear more towards like the casual player. It kind of plays into like the Guardian pack and the game that we have coming out, Smash Palace. Yes,
Smash Palace.
I wanted to say Super Slam, but I was like, that's the name of the set. Yeah, it seems like it plays more into those, which I think is like good, because we have all this product coming out that's like congruent if someone gets into the game because of Smash Palace. This is like really enticing if that's their thing. It seems like this would be their thing. So maybe it's just a timing thing. I don't know. The heroes do look fun. They just like, I'm not sure how interested I'll be in the set beyond the limited play, which is enticing because these heroes seem like they are fun to play. And the no weapons thing, I think, is going to be like very thematic and fun. I love a theme. This set definitely has a theme. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. The other thing about the set, like, you know, I don't know in terms of power level if I, like, my instinct as well is that it's probably not a high power set. Could very well be wrong. So far, all of the talented sets have been pretty broken comparatively to other sets, and this is one of those talented sets, being reviled and revered. The words are too similar. The good guys and bad guys, you know, like, so like the talents might be enough to push it over the top, but also like, yeah, outside of that, like my initial instinct to that's probably not going to be super powerful, but that's might be a hangover from like heavy hitters being like a fairly low power set.
Yeah,
as well.
potentially.
It might be too reminiscent of that. But the like other important thing to note about the set is that we have a hero with 3 intellect and a hero with 5. So I believe this is the first time we have heroes with different intellects in Classic Constructed specifically.
Yeah.
And that's going to play hugely different. Like the hero ability on Tough Nut, functionally being pitch the top card of your deck, makes it kind of seem like he plays with a 4-card hand and he gets to play with Rock. He's like the first hero that like actually gets to use Rock at a somewhat efficient rate. It's gonna be interesting. Like even that hero might end up being kind of like one-dimensional. Like I don't see it being like super powerful because of that 3 intellect, but like at 4 intellect he'd probably be broken. Whereas conversely, the Lyeth, who cuts his like power and defenses in half, seems kind of broken despite that, because of like having just access to 5 cards a minimum a turn seems like
that seems messed up
good.
I was really excited when I saw 3 intellect and 5 intellect. I was really excited when I saw we were playing with intellects, and so when I first saw the trailer for this set, I didn't even process that it was like a set. I thought it was like more Smash Palace stuff, just because like it's it's got that flavor.
Kinda got that flavor for
and I saw the heroes have different intellects, so I wasn't thinking like these are CC heroes. I was like, oh, fun thing they're doing with Smash Palace, different intellects. And then I was like, wait, this is the new set. These are CC heroes with 5 intellect and 3 intellect. And I do think that's kind of cool and exciting, even if they don't have like much place in the meta, which they might. Like I said, I'm always willing to be wrong. That's cool though. I like that we're playing with intellects.
I think I'm gonna lean that I don't think either hero is gonna be broken, to be honest. Like playing with intellect is like hand size is a huge thing to be messing with in Classic Constructed, so I'd be kind of surprised if they I wouldn't be surprised rather if they kind of were a bit more cautious with these 2 heroes. Of course they could have been the other way around and completely misjudged the balance of the heroes. Like, you know, people are fallible, mistakes can be made. I'm not saying they definitely made a mistake, but it wouldn't surprise me if like it's gonna take some time to like tune what power the 3 intellect hero should have, what power the 5 intellect hero should have. Like we even saw it with Dodgedol for a while, right? Like in Blitz, like she was not a very powerful hero for quite a while, until they started putting more and more of these like crank items, and now she's kind of at a place where she's not only justifiable but good in Blitz. It might be the same kind of thing for Super Slam as well.
Yeah.
I feel like we had other topics.
I mean, so out of this set, we think Pleiades, is that how you say it? Will be the best.
Yeah. I mean, she's the one who has like her specific armory deck to go alongside it, right? And like, granted, not every armory deck hero has had like a super explosive kind of growth from that armory deck. Like if we look at Max and Bolton, they're still kind of at the same points they were at. Granted, Max, to no fault of his own, got high octane banned from his deck. Which was pretty key in like that Mechanologist suit build of Max where you're attacking like 5-6 times for 6. But the direction like in the past recent sets makes me feel like Pleiades probably has a bit more power in her. And like if we're being realistic, like the pretty girl heroes do tend to sell quite a bit.
She's so hot. She's so hot. It's actually making me mad. I went on like a long rant about this to Kiki last night when we were when we were just talking, and yeah, she's like, I don't like how hot she is. I love hot women, but she's like, she's too hot. It's ridiculous because she's like obtainable hot, you know? Like every other hot person in this game is not like I could walk down the street and find you out in real life, but this is like, yeah, I could find it. She's so
realistic hot.
she's like way too obtainable hot. It's like I
You have so much more confidence in yourself. I would not call her obtainable.
she's in my league, yeah. I could pull her for sure. Like
she's not legal for the Rainbow Push thing. She's not in my league.
no, she is.
Actually,
No,
no.
because you can't switch heroes.
The announcement was just but the announcement was just made, right? Like, surely it's not in the next 2 months, is it? The Guardian Mastery Pack is
she.
in August,
The world
and that's like
premieres in
halfway
September.
through. That's after our league finishes, right? We're like July, August. We're 2 months roughly.
Yeah. It's like the end of the league. I don't know.
Maybe we'll see. Either way, nobody can select her by that point.
Yeah, heroes are locked.
have been locked
Heroes
in.
are locked. She's too hot. She's like upsettingly hot. Like like you can't tell me that girl looks that cool and is just walking around Wraith. Like that is ridiculous because she's also walking around New York City. Like that's not. It's taking me out of the fantasy world. I'm crashing out over it. And I'm.
So apparently, LSS, we need your hot characters to be
less believable. Please, like, make them as hot as you want, but like, don't make me feel like I could date them. Like Ocilio. I was saying this, like, Ocilio is so hot, but like, I'm not gonna stumble across a giant chandelier man, you know, that I could date. Like Puffin is so hot, but I'm not about to stumble across Puffin out in the real world. Like, I'm not going to find a lady with a mechanical bird wing, hot in pirate attire with a peg leg. Like, I'm not about to find that out walking around my neighborhood. I could go to a music festival and find Pleiades.
She's probably busking.
Like she's probably out there with her guitar playing, just like waiting for me to stumble across it. It like, she looks like someone I would find a video like, wow, someone just videoed this girl up on a stage performing and put it on TikTok. It comes across my For You page and I hyperfixate over it for like a weekend. That's what she looks like. It's just anyway.
There we go.
I'm
Just
done.
make your hot characters a little bit more fantasy, please.
That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Like, even like Ferdinand is like really hot and pretty, like realistic looking, but still she's like walking around barefoot and like creating like flowers out of nothing. You know, I'm not gonna find that. She's like flowers, her dress is flowers. She's like, oh, here's like a flower that I just like conjured up out of thin air. Like, I'm barefoot. Like, she's giving like Disney princess. Like, I'm not gonna find her. Anyway, sorry.
No, it's good. You're fine.
Anyway, yeah. We did have topics, and now I've we talked about, let's see, there's nationals that have been happening. Singapore is coming up. That's something. Those are two things we could talk about. No, we
Wait, we
can't.
can
I
or we
don't think
did?
we talked about those. I mean, we talked about like I'm going to Singapore, you're not going to
No.
Singapore, but we didn't talk about like maybe what the meta would look like. We haven't talked about how national season has played
True.
out, even though we talked about your nationals experience and my nationals experience now in the pod.
Yeah, I guess we'll, with Nationals nearly coming to an end, right? Well, I'll talk about that first, I guess. Gravy Bones has been huge in Nationals. Surprisingly, maybe not surprisingly, he's a board state hero. Board state heroes are pretty good. And he's also an armory deck hero, and armory deck heroes are usually pretty good. Like, how do you feel about Gravy Bones being so prominent and present? Not necessarily winning like all the nationals, because like that's kind of like Syndra's territory. Shout out to Syndra. But like Gravy Bones despite being one of the newest heroes in the game and the newest class in the game, like how do you feel about that deck being arguably not even good, but great?
I like it. I'm happy. And it's not really a concern for I really like the deck. I've been playing Gravy. I really enjoy him. He's kind of gotten me out of my, I don't want to say like Kasai rut, because I would never consider playing Kasai being in a rut. I know some people would, but I love her. But she has also been like one of the only heroes that I've played and like really, really like, not that I don't enjoy playing other decks, but it's like, that you have that deck that like really makes you feel part of this game. That's like, I love this. I can never get enough of it. Gravy's kind of given me that same feeling that really only Kasai gave me before. I really enjoy him a lot. I enjoyed Ocilio like that, but not in like CC in the level that I did Kasai or Gravy. And I will also say, like, him winning things, racking up points, it's because of the way they've restructured the Living Legend system. It's like, I don't really have any concerns with it the way you would usually if a hero came out the gate and then was, like, immediately racking up points and winning events, and you're like, gosh, this hero is about to just, like, be gone. And this set is pricey right now, and he's pricey. So that is usually a concern, but with the way they've restructured these Living Legend points, I also don't think that's a concern. So, like, at least for myself, like, I'm able to kind of just be excited about it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna get the same like Aurora problem, where she kind of disappeared after a few months. They've essentially like doubled their lifespan within the first year, right? So like, even if Gravy would have hit that in what would have been the same speed, say like 3 months, we're now getting like at least half a year of like viability from him, which is pretty neat.
It feels better like investing in the deck.
Yeah, for sure. You're not gonna end up like me, where I purchased every Parthemisphale Legendary and have used them
I
all
did.
0 times.
I purchased the Aurora deck and got to play it like at 2 events. So I'm like, oh, that won't happen with the Gravy deck if I purchase it, which won't be until that wouldn't be until after Singapore, unless I decide to be financially irresponsible in Singapore, which I often do at Flesh and Blood events.
Do you have access to them? Like, is there any stores around here that have them?
The Gravy? No, you're mainly just buying from players right now.
Right.
The Armory deck? Is that what you're referring to? Oh, I got the Armory deck.
Yeah.
I meant like,
yeah.
Oh,
like the Majestics.
Yeah,
like
going in to buy it all the dice and like Hook. I mean, the deck's expensive. Yeah, the big boats.
And the big boats.
Deck is not cheap right now.
Yeah. I kind of bought the Armory deck on a whim, just like in the off chance I decide to play it. Like, I bought it at Nationals. My store randomly had 2 that we had set aside in case we made any mistakes on pre-orders, which we didn't. So when I saw it on the shelf, I'm like, I'll just pick one of those up just in case. But I don't see myself playing it.
I picked one up because when the set released, I couldn't get any product. I still have actually not been able to get my hands on buying any high seats. I couldn't get any product, and so I was like, just give me an Armory deck. Let me play that at least. Let me at least have something fun, please. Where's the product?
You know.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I have some in my store. If you just want to come on.
Mule it over to me.
Sure. I mean, I can if you want. Like, if you legitimately want a box, I can
It's
get him to
okay.
bring one for you.
I was
Or
lucky
however
enough
you
to
want.
like get some product at in Vegas, but I didn't have room in my suitcase to like take much of it back. Yeah, I'd imagine the same thing would happen in Singapore, where it's like, let me just take like the rarity and the rares and higher back, and I can't take all these commons. Which, if you know me, I am not someone who I can't just throw away chaff. I can't do it. I hate it. It hurts me to throw cards away, even if they're a penny. So, yeah.
I feel that. Like,
it was upsetting.
I see people trying to throw cards away at my store. Like, stop them and then grab the cards from them and then put them in the bulk boxes for other people to go through. But there's honestly so much flesh and blood bulk that like it's this ever-growing pile, and eventually we'll have to throw it out, and I'll feel sad about that.
When I'm at Armory, and like, you didn't happen with High Seas, but every other set, you know, it's like people are just opening product for a while, for forever, and especially when you're at like playing and the set comes out, it's like everyone just opens product, and then there's like so much bulk just left on the tables, and I always am like just filling my backpack as much as I can with it, because I'm like no bulk gets left behind, like I'll take as much as I can. But
there's two kinds of people. Those that want the bulk
and the thing is,
not.
like, I don't even need it, but it's like, this can't just go in the trash. It hurts. It pains
Donate
me.
it to
Yeah,
someone.
it's like I'll sit on it until I find someone that needs it.
Well, there's 2 more nationals events to go that I know of, at least. There's one more weekend. I know Japan and Australia is coming up for this weekend. And then we're going on to Singapore as the next kind of big event thing. Do you have any sort of predictions of how you think Singapore is going to go?
So I think that right now, like, Dash.io is, I've been thinking Dash.io is pretty good in this meta, but I wasn't seeing much Dash.io representation until recently. There was like one nationals where like the majority of top 8 was on Dash.io, and I was like, oh, okay, they figured it out, because I've been thinking like Dash.io is just like really powerful into this meta. I don't know how many bad matchups she has as someone who is considering playing like Gravy and Kasai. I was like, these are like, Dash.io is actually a matchup that I think you have to be concerned about. So I'm curious to see if Dash.io, like the type of representation Dash.io has in Singapore, because I don't think that she's very well represented in US Nationals. I also, you know, I think that Gravy and Verdance, of course, will be represented. I think that Syndra has a place right now, and I gotta be honest. I'm pretty curious to see how my girl Kasai does, because I do think that Kasai is pretty well positioned into the meta. I'm just not sure about the Verdance matchup, and I didn't really want to try and figure it out, which is why I decided I'm probably not bringing Kasai to Singapore. I've been practicing Gravy, like I said, but I'm curious to see like if someone figures that out. Honestly, I say like figures it out, but I really haven't even played much of that matchup as Kasai, because I haven't played Kasai in a tournament in a while, probably since Osaka, because I was on Aurora, and then didn't really play any tournaments between when I was playing Aurora and High Seas coming out, where I've been on Gravy. So I don't really know much about the Kasai Verdants, but I know that Warrior tends to struggle into Wizards, and yeah, if that matchup is not as bad as maybe I'm thinking it is, or if someone can kind of figure out how to play it, I'll be really curious to see how she does. Yeah.
Hit us up.
How about yourself? Any predictions for Singapore?
I think I'm gonna put it out there and say I'm gonna think there's gonna be one Prism in the top 8. I think she's kind of fine into, or like decent-ish, into a lot of matchups. Like, I don't think she's like overwhelmingly positive into many matchups, but I think she's got like a decent spread into everything, where if you're just like really good on the deck, then you can kind of skill diff your way into wins. You will lose some games, like you'll probably lose into the Brutes and the Victors of the world, but outside of those matchups, I think she's pretty like decently positioned. Not good enough to be like everyone's gonna play her as the best deck, but I think there's gonna be one in the top 8. I low-key think that my locals broke Verdant. Like, at least as far as, you know, at the time that New Zealand Nationals happened, I hadn't seen anyone having played Knick-Knack, Brick-a-Brack in Verdant, which is not a card you think about as a Verdance card. But for those that don't know what it does, you can sacrifice any number of, like, I think gold, silver, copper, and then search. And then when it resolves, you search for an item, and then if you sacrifice tokens, you can search for more items. But you don't need to, like, sacrifice the tokens. You can just use it as a way to have more potions in your deck. So, for example, my friend who finished second at New Zealand Nationals won a game on turn 4 with an IP2, because he just found all the potions and then killed on turn 4 for like 70 damage on turn 4. So Verdant's
Yeah, that
quick.
sounds scary.
Yeah, it's kind of gross. There's obviously ways to beat it. And the other thing I'm kind of excited about is Ira. The Ira Armory deck releases on the, I want to say 11th?
Let's see, I can check it up. I can look that up. The Ira Armory deck is not something we've talked about, but looks really cool. Definitely gonna pick one up.
Yeah, it does, for sure. Same. It seems very exciting for
11th.
Katsu as well. I think sneakily, for what it's worth, the Ira Armory deck actually helps Katsu out more than it helps Ira, funnily enough. Like, I think Katsu becomes the Edge of Autumn hero, and Ira becomes Ira's already the Kodachi hero. But I think Katsu might make a switch, because he doesn't tend to actually use his weapons very much, and having a way to continuously try to recur the +1 is pretty good, especially, like, because all the Vengeance cards are also combo cards. So, like, you can search them out with Katsu if you want to as well. So Katsu might actually get, like, a reasonable bonus from this, especially because, you know, Bonds has come back as well, so you can play Bonds again. So I'm excited for what that Armory deck does. Whether it affects Katsu or Ira more, I'm not 100% sold. It could be good for either. The main thing that excites me about it is that there's a Bittering Thorns reprint, which is a card that hasn't been printed in a booster pack in English yet. So I'm excited for Red Bittering Thorns, which is not something I expected to say about, like, a pre-constructed product. But
yeah.
It did look really cool, and it also seems very new player friendly. Watching the video that they posted, like, Ira's naturally pretty favored into Gravy, because of the Whirling Mist Blossom acting like a Herald of Erudition. But, like, it showed, like, the deck is pretty powerful and kind of intuitive. Like, they had Alex playing it, who's a self-professed not developer. Flesh and Blood, he's the marketing guy. So I think it's really cool that there's this product that, like, is fairly competitive out of the box and, like, lets you compete. Even though it's like an Armory deck versus an Armory deck, like, there's obviously ways to upgrade that deck, But as it is, like, it seems pretty playable out of the box, and
Yeah.
that's kind of
And
exciting.
I mean, I just love that they did like this IRA um CC. Like, I just think it's a smart move because it's like, okay, you have the IRA welcome decks, and then you can get IRA blitz decks, and there's like this like very natural progression for IRA, which, as you mentioned, is just kind of like user friendly. Like, it's intuitive, it's like geared towards new players. So I really like that. What, like, this has been LSS is kind of, I know I just complained a little bit about Pleiades being too hot and maybe Super Slam not for me, but like, honestly, all the credit to LSS, because what a year of Flesh and Blood this has been so far, and we have still so much more to come. Like, I'm thinking about it, and it's like, wow. We had the Hunted, which, maybe wasn't for everyone, but I really enjoyed the Hunted. I thought it was fun. There was like hype around it. Then we had High Seas, which was like just maybe the most hype I've seen around a set, and the world premiere for that was like awesome to watch. I love that we were doing. I love like the world premiere events, and then we had like national season, which has just been like so enjoyable to play in and consume. Like, I've really been eating up the national streams. I think the CC meta is in such a great place right now. And then we have Singapore, which is like super exciting, and then right after Singapore, like right before Singapore, we have the Ira deck, and then after Singapore, we have the Guardian Mastery Pack coming out, which a lot of people have been excited about. Again, I'm not a Guardian player, so not a product for me, but the idea of like this crack shuffle play is very exciting for me. I also like the idea of Mastery Packs because it kind of is a solution to Bright Lights, which I did not enjoy, but there is a player base for that. So like, I love that they have these Mastery Packs that are coming out. I'm really excited for the other one that I keep wanting to call Super Slam, but is not Super Slam, Smash Palace.
Smash Palace?
I've been wanting kind of I think it's something for the casual players. I think it's something a product that I've been wanting because it's like my brothers don't really play TCGs in the way that I do, but like they're gamers like I am, and it seems like more fun to sit down with the three of them and introduce them to the game in this way rather than like trying to sit down and make them learn CC one-on-one. So like, I think that's a great product that I'm really excited for. I'm interested to see like how it sells, but I'll be picking that up. Like, and then we have Super Slam coming out. Also, Gen Con is coming around, and maybe some other conventions where the Living Legend classic constructed decks like precons will be coming out, which I'm really interested in. Those I think that's really cool. I'm interested to see the power level of them because Living Legend is a powerful format. Obviously, all those heroes are those are powerful heroes. That's why they're in that format. And then we have like Worlds, where we'll get more announcements for the next set. It's just like, I don't know, all these products coming out have me really excited. They've been crushing it. So yeah, shout out LSS. They've done a great job. And it like every time there's a new announcement, it really does feel like we're on a roller coaster that's just going up, like, this is fun. Yeah
It's just an elevator.
Right.
It's not even a roller coaster.
Yeah, because I
I
don't expect to come down. Like, it just feels like we're just like to the moon, Yeah.
For sure. Well, with all this exciting stuff that's happened so far, then, just real quick, what's been your favorite part about Flesh and Blood this year? Like, what's the highlight for Flesh and Blood for you?
I don't know. I think maybe part of the hype for Flesh and Blood is the fact that I'm done with school and I can really just travel and enjoy the game now in ways that I haven't been. So maybe part of it is just kind of like the refreshing feeling of that. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint because I think I have that over my head. Like, US Nationals was just like so incredibly fun. I'm so excited for Singapore, and those are experiences that I've been having. But maybe the highlight, honestly, it might just be where the CC meta is right now. I think the national streams have just been so enjoyable because the meta is in such a great place, in my opinion. Like, there's so much diversity, the games have so much depth. It just feels like people are having fun. Like, yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like everyone's like favorite hero is like, not everyone, most people's favorite hero is like a viable choice to be making in CC right
like
now.
I said, I'm not playing Kasai in CC right now because I'm enjoying Gravy so much. But like, one, the fact that there's a hero I enjoy so much that's kind of pulled me off of Kasai for a little bit is very exciting. Yeah, mind-blowing. And two, like, it, even though I'm not playing Kasai right now, it's super exciting that Kasai's even an option. Like, I'm trying to learn Gravy, but I'm also like, if I don't learn Gravy, I can bring Kasai to Singapore last minute and not feel like a scrub for doing so. I'll probably scrub out still, and that's on me, not her this time, and that's exciting.
I like how you're not calling out people for playing Kasai. What was it? I can't remember. When you unintentionally called out Robin.
Oh, yeah.
That's
a
you problem. That's not what you said, but it was implied.
Well,
it felt implied.
That's, yeah.
This time it's not anyone's fault. Just,
and, yeah. Ranger is still the only thing that's where I put my blinders on. I just, and that is a me problem.
Well, my favorite part about the game this year so far is Treasure Island. Like, I think Treasure Island was the best limited experience in Flesh and Blood I've had, and I find it so much fun. I just love Treasure Island so much. Like, I love the depth and the texture it provides to the game. The blocking tension is so good. And then if you add Gravy to that as well, the decision point of attacking the player for the gold, attacking the player to get cards out of their hand, or attacking the ally gives you like such a cool little mini game you have to solve in the format. Like, I just love the limited format, and I think a lot of it is because of Treasure Island. I think like that's just a slam home run. It board gamifies it a little bit as well, and like it gives you access to gold at a rate that I think is like a lot faster than CC. But also I think it like allows you to experience the heroes and like what they do. Like, you're a lot more reliant on the hero abilities in limited, and I think it's super fun because of that. Like, I think Treasure Island just ticked every possible box it could in terms of making High Seas Limited like a great limited format. And I think, it takes a lot for me to admit that there's something I enjoy more than Prism, but I think High Seas Limited is now my favorite limited format over Monarch.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. I've said, every set that comes out, I'm like, this is my new limited format, because I just, I get excited. I do. I'm just a person who gets excited. I'm always like, this is my favorite my favorite limited format. But truly honestly, a set would have to do a lot in order for it to top High Seas Limited for me. Like, I don't think for a while I'll be saying this is my favorite limited format. I'll Venmo you $1 if Super Slam comes out, and I'm like, I'll Venmo you more than $1 if Super Slam comes out. I was speaking to our listeners when I said I'll Venmo you $1, but I would Venmo you, Kiki, more than $1 if Super Slam comes out, and I'm like, this is my favorite my favorite limited format, because like Treasure Island, yeah, you already said it all, but it's incredible. The bar is so high. It is incredible. I think I heard Brian Gottlieb in an interview say that, like, yeah, people love it so much. It's like a little intimidating because I don't know how like we'll like top it. And I agree. Like, I don't know how you're gonna top this for me. It's so good. And I've always had the experience when sets comes out that's like, I just want to draft. Granted, I still haven't drafted this set because of product issues, but I feel that way with Sealed, which I've never felt about the sealed format before.
Yeah.
Like I could play sealed all day with this set. It's so fun, and I think so much of that is contributed to what Treasure Island adds to the gameplay of the limited format. It's just like, yeah,
100%. Yeah.
yeah.
It's just so good.
Well,
Ooh. I feel very
yeah.
strongly about Treasure
No one talks about Treasure. No one speaks badly about Treasure Island in my house. Get out. That's how I would act if someone
100%.
came into my apartment and was like, I don't care for Treasure Island. Get out my house. Yeah.
That's on the Disney movie immediately. Just
All right. Well, maybe that's a good note to end on. Yeah.
I think so. This has been fun. It's been great to hang out with you again. I guess the outro stuff. So,
you
Elaine,
can
how do
find
we
me
find
on
you on
socials at ehamontree, like one word as in pork on shrubbery or bacon on bush. Ehamontree, and I am on Bluesky. I am still on that other app, the X Twitter app. But I mainly use that to just share what we're doing on here. I'm much more active on Bluesky, so yeah. And how about you, Kiki? Where can the people find you?
And you can also find me on the same social websites. You can find me on Bluesky at kikibird.bsky.social. You can find me on Twitter, formerly X, formerly Twitter, at Kiki_LA93. And then, of course, you can find our league on both of those socials as well. The Rainbow Pitch League. Currently, as we're recording this, we're halfway through week 1. That can be found at Rainbow X Pitch.
I think it's Rainbow X Pitch
there
as well. And also, you can keep an eye out at this YouTube channel for the games for season 3, because we'll be producing games. I would imagine the first one will come out shortly after this episode comes out. Yeah,
hopefully. I guess also you can find us on the league that means nothing.
Yeah.
We should probably plug that because we're both
shout out
currently
Az.
featured on there. We're doing 2 games commentary around. Shout out to Az.
Oh yeah, I should shout that out too. New podcast. The trailer has dropped, not the first episode, although the first episode has been filmed and should be dropping soon. I have started a new podcast with Az and Logan. Az from Go Again Gaming and Logan from Flesh and Pod. But it's actually not a Flesh and Blood podcast. It's kind of just like a for fun podcast that we started that stemmed from a drunken conversation in Vegas. It is called On the Topic Of, and yeah, there are links to that on my socials, so be sure to check that out. It's fun. Each week we one of us just presents a topic to the other two. The other two, we get the topic in advance, but no indication or information on where the moderator of that week wants to take the conversation on that topic. So we learn a lot about ourselves and about each other, and sometimes we're serious and sometimes we're stupid, but we always are laughing. So check that out. Yeah.
There we go. So with that being said, check out all those things. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. And we will see you next time.